There's an urban legend that the Stonewall riots happened because gays were so upset by the death of Judy Garland. That never really made sense to me until 2016, when we were just devastated by the loss of one queer icon after another. David Bowie, George Michael, Debbie Reynolds, Alexis Arquette, and so many more. There was even a rumor John Waters was about to go, but turns out he was just celebrating Christmas by passing a kidney stone. So don't worry, John's fine, and so are a ton of fabulous queer icons who are not just still alive, but producing some amazing work. And not just kidney stones. Whether they're gay themselves, or allies, or somewhere in between, the LGBT community's role models are particularly important because we're often rendered invisible or closeted. When you hardly ever see your community held up as aspirational, you learn to be protective of the ones who made it, like Wanda Sykes, or the allies who stood by us, like Cyndi Lauper. A lot of the people we celebrate are singers. Cher, Madonna, Diana Ross, artists who basically spent the last half-century making sure homosexuality was something you could dance to. And if at any point you feel yourself feeling like there's nothing left to look forward to, just remember, Tori Amos, Joan Baez, Annie Lennox, Janet Jackson, and Grace Jones are all still alive. Better yet, that means there's a non-zero chance they could collaborate. Bette Midler's gonna be in a Hello Dolly revival this year. That's a show all about bouncing back from tragedy and embracing life with all its ups and downs, a message of particular importance to the gay community. And speaking of Hello Dolly, can you believe Carol Channing is still with us and has so much intensity she can make a drag queen cry just by leaning back in a chair? And Carol's not the only actor we have. There's George Takei, Harvey Fierstein, Jane Lynch, Paul Rubens. Some are queer themselves, like Lily Tomlin, and others are good friends, like Dolly Parton and Jane Fonda. Their movie, 9 to 5, is a celebration of rejecting assumptions based on gender, and also of a little light bondage. There are so many successful out queer actors in 2017. At this point, if anyone says that being openly gay will ruin your career, they will be personally slapped by one of our great allies. Maybe Joan Collins, who's still alive, or Carol Kane, still alive, or Betty White, who will bury us all. And that's just in America. Over in England, where being gay comes from, they've been kind enough to loan the world Julie Andrews, not to mention Judi Dench, Diana Rigg, Maggie Smith, also Angela Lansbury in whatever part of England is Maine. These women may not be queer, at least not all the time, but in between ruling empires and magically animating undergarments to stop Nazis, their power and their wit is the epitome of challenging traditional gender roles. So no wonder they're important to LGBTs. We're also blessed with a lot of British dandies. Ian McKellen and Derek Jacobi model stable relationships on Vicious. Boy George continues to give the world new ideas about hats. And Stephen Fry's been popping up on American network television lately, which means maybe there's hope for this country after all? It can be hard to find good, strong queer figures in pop culture, and depending on where you live, it can be hard in real life. That's what makes these icons so, well, iconic. They're signals that there's a whole big tribe out there, a tribe where queers and their allies thrive, a tribe that has a place for everyone and can be always counted on for support. Whether they're queer themselves or just beloved by queers, we have more people to love, admire, look up to, and be inspired by than ever before. As one of these icons once said, from cradle to tomb, it isn't that long a stay. So we can mourn the people we've lost, but also celebrate the ones we have. Life is a cabaret, and we've got tickets to an incredible show. Thanks for watching. Let me know who your queer icons are in the comments and at Matt Baum on Twitter. Check out my podcast, The Sewers of Paris, where each week gay men tell stories about how entertainment changed their lives. And now, if you'll excuse me, it's time to animate my undergarments.
Draguna!